All right, y'all, we are back again for another Diaries episode. Can't believe this is already episode 10. It does not feel like I've done 10 of these, but apparently I have. So, judging by today's title, we're going to be talking about should tall women have standards when it comes to dating? Now, my answer is for sure yes, but everybody might not feel like that because I know some people that are average height don't feel like we should, which is crazy to me, but whatever. So I do have a similar video talking about dating as a tall woman on my channel already. But this video, I'm kind of talking more about standards and how some people feel like we just shouldn't have standards. Well, not even shouldn't. We should have our standards low. And my thing is, you wouldn't tell an average height woman that, but yet you seem to tell tall women that. That to me is crazy. So let's go ahead and get started with the video. I'm going to go ahead and kind of recap on how hard it can be to date as a tall woman because, like I said in my video before, I talk about that a little bit. So, I know me personally, I have not been in any serious relationship before. And some of that is on me, but then some of it is also because I just haven't found like a guy that I feel like is worth my time to be falling in love and having all these emotions. And if you know me, I'm not a very affectionate person. So it's just like, I gotta find the right person to do all that for. And, yet I haven't found that. And that's okay. But it can be hard to date because like some people you feel like especially like shorter men, you feel like they have like a fetish thing for tall women. And I don't want to be someone's fetish. I don't want to be someone's conquest. Like that's just not gonna happen. And then you also have some people that might just date you for reasons of like, oh, I want to have tall kids. And it's like that could be part of it, but if that's your main reason for wanting to be with me because you want to have like D1 babies, that's a no. But it's like tall women, we go through so many things already, and dating is just one of those things that can be hard for us, especially when you are looking for a certain thing when it comes to dating. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not going to date anything, you have standards, so therefore it can be kind of hard when you're having these kind of standards. Now, changed a little bit as I get older, I think. So and I think as I get older and I realize, like, of course, I'm not gonna find that perfect guy anyways, but I feel like my standards are getting a little bit. I guess I'm not lowering them, but I'm changing them a little bit because I realize like everything that I want isn't gonna happen. But long as you have like 80% of what I want, then we're good. But like I said, I definitely feel like some people think that tall women should have like low standards because they feel like, oh, you're already so tall, you're probably not going to find what you're looking for, so just get what you can get. And that pisses me off so much. I think some people really feel like as tall women, you should just get whatever comes up to you. I'm sorry. Excuse me? What makes you think I'm supposed to just date whatever comes my way? Do you date whatever comes your way? Some of y'all probably do, which is why you're in the situation you're in now. So, just
Just saying.
saying. But me personally, I'm not finna just get what I can get or date what's gonna come to me. No, 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 no. Also, please excuse my grown out knotless braids. They're a little grown out. I've had these for what? It'll be 2 months on the 13th this month, but mind your business. And I did not slick my edges out or anything today because I was like, you know what? It's okay. I know as black women, we feel the pressure of like having our hair like we don't feel like our hair is put together unless we have slick this, slick that, this, that. And it's like, it's okay. You can have those days where your hair it's still beautiful, just a little messy. Also, I might make a video on that too, but that's not the point of today's video. So, anyways, a lot of people feel like, as a tall woman, it's already so hard for us to date. And then a lot of people say, oh, you already have a limited, people to date. And of course, there's also that topic of tall women, short women. I mean, tall men with short women, and do tall men like tall women? That's another video I do want to make because I personally, I don't know. I don't really know. I feel like some of them do, but then some of them don't. And I feel like it's like a masculinity thing for some men, like or like an ego thing. Like they feel like if you're too tall or if you're too close to their height, it's weird, whatever. So, and then I also talk about how I also made a TikTok actually, and I was like, why do I feel like shorter men have more confidence when it comes to approaching like tall women or dating tall women versus a tall man? It's like, I don't know. So another topic for another day. But there's always that like limited number because you do see a lot of short, tall men with short women. You'll see a guy, he'll be 6'11", 6'7" and his girl or wife is like 5'3", and you're like, really? You know what I mean? Like, really, bro? But like I said, you can't help who you fall for. But at the same time, it's just like, so everyone wants a tall man, but then it also seems like everybody don't want a tall woman. It's like we get so many shorter guys that approach us, which is fine. Trust and believe me, I've had quite a few shorter men approach me, but my answer is always no. Simply because I just personally don't want to be with someone that's too much shorter than me. Like I said, as I get older, they have changed. At first, I was very much like, oh no, you need to be my height or taller. But now I feel like the shortest I'll go is like 6'3", which is 3 inches shorter. So I feel like that's pretty good number. So yeah, like I said, definitely 3 inches shorter is probably the shortest I'm going. Um, well, I ain't gonna say the shortest I'm going. Well, let's just say I'm not going to five. I'm not going out the sixes. Let's just say that. Okay. If I were to fall for someone that's shorter than 6'3", just know I'm not going out the sixes. If you at least in the six, I can't help you. And that's not being mean, that's not being rude. That's just me and feeling like I don't want to have to, you know, as a woman, especially a black woman, we already are told how masculine we are, and especially as a tall black woman. And I made a video about this, how tall women are, y'all love to make us seem masculine and misgender us and all that. Which I don't think I made a video about being misgendered as a black woman, but it's similar. I might make a video about being misgendered as black women. I mean, as tall women, but especially tall black women. But yeah, so we already have that, label on us. So it's like for me to feel as feminine and soft as like, your soft girl era as possible. I'm not gonna feel very feminine and safe and protected if I'm 6'6" and then you're like 5'8". Personally, I'm not going to feel that way. But at least if you're in the six, like I said, I prefer you be 6'3" and up. But if you are a little bit shorter, maybe. But I just personally prefer, I have a preference there. Okay. Before, my preference was very much like, I ain't going shorter. But now I'm trying to kind of change that and realize, like, you know what? Even if he's a little bit shorter, that's okay. But I'm telling you, like I swear I'll be out sometimes, like my friends or family, whatever, and they'll see a tall guy and they're like, "Oh, there you go, Ken." I'd be like, "Y'all, did y'all even look at his face? Like, no offense, but come on, bro." I'd be like, "Y'all just see height. Y'all don't see nothing else. Y'all just see height. Y'all don't see nothing." I'd be like, "Really?" And then they'd be like, "Oh, well, never mind." Yeah, cause what? And I'm not saying like I'm just saying I gotta be attracted to the person. Like I have to find the person attractive. If I don't find you attractive, I'm not gonna. And also another thing is for me personally, I'm not really into skinny guys, like slender skinny guys. Like if you look at me, I'm not a skinny girl. Okay, I have meat on my bones. I pretty much always had meat on my bones. Ever since I hit like adolescent puberty, your girl started filling out in places. Okay, so I've never been like a skinny girl. I've always had like some meat on my bones, and baby, I've always can eat. Okay, so it's like I've just never been like that. So I personally don't want my guy to be skinny. I do feel like if you are going to be on the slender side, I prefer you be taller. Because don't be slender and shorter. It's like, come on now. You got to give me something. Like,
Work with me here.
you can't be both. If you're going to be skinny or slender, I need you to be taller, you know? It just, yeah. Because if you're bigger and you're shorter, I have no problem. But if you're skinny and shorter, that's a problem for me. Um, but I definitely feel like people feel like tall women, they just feel like I don't know. Some reason I feel like people be feeling like, oh, you guys are just kind of little handouts. You guys a handout. Like we don't need your handouts, okay? Tall women are beautiful women. Okay, we can get whatever we want to get. Now, of course, you have some tall women that will date whatever height, and kudos to them. They will date whatever. There's a girl I know. If y'all see that show, come on TLC. It was called My Giant Life. One of the women, she was like 6'6", 6'7", and her husband was 5'8", I think, 5'7", 5'8". It was so funny because the parents did not, especially the dad, he did not want her to marry and date this man because he was like, what about the gene pool? Like, 'cause I think her dad was like 6'9", 6'10". Her mom was like 6'2", 6'3". Her parents were not going for it. They did not want her to be with a 5'7", 5'8" man, but she ended up marrying him and they have a baby. I need to look her up though to see how old the baby is and see if she's also tall. Or he, I think it was a she. That was so funny to me. But um, she was like, "Well, Dad, I can't help what I fell for." And there was another girl in there. She was like 6'9", 6'10", and she wanted to go to prom with this guy, and he was like, I don't know, he's like five something, and it was so funny because all of her brothers are like 7 foot. Her mom is like six something. And I think her dad is like five. I think he's at 5'10" or something like that. It was so funny. But a lot of tall women, they will date shorter, especially if that's a norm for them in their household. I know I'll speak about Zendaya. I think I told this before too. Her mom is taller than her dad. So that was a norm for her. Like I said, me personally, the norm for me was my dad was taller than my mom. So I grew up seeing that and was thinking, okay, that's what I want, which that is what I would like. But like I say, as I get older and as I mature, I'm okay with dating somebody that's a little bit shorter. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna freak out if you're shorter than me. Before, yeah, because I was immature. I'm growing up. I'm obviously getting older. I'm 28 years old, so I'm getting older. I'm learning, and I feel like at this age now, I'm okay with dating someone that's a little bit shorter than me, but not too much shorter than me. But yes, I definitely feel like some people feel like we just have to kind of lower our standards or our standards are too high, which I don't think our standards are very high. I feel like tall women, we have a standard of we want our guy to be a certain height. That's not a high standard, is it though? I don't know. I don't feel like we're not saying he got to be a billionaire. We're not saying he got to be this and that. We're just saying we want him to be a certain height. But people be like, "Oh, you already super tall. What you looking for? Why you want your man to be this tall?" Because I want a tall man. I want to have tall jeans. No, I'm just kidding. I want our kids to be tall. I mean, I do want to have tall kids, and I feel like there's a chance I'll have tall kids anyways because I'm tall and I have tall family members. But then again, I might be the tallest in my family. I don't know, but I probably will have tall kids regardless. But one of my kids, even if I were to marry a man that's 6'10", I still might have one child that's like average height, and I don't care. Like I don't care how tall my kids are. Yes, would I like for them to be tall too? Cool, but would I be cool with their average height too? Of course, I'm gonna love my kids regardless. I could care less how tall they are. But people just feel like tall women, and then of course there's this, stereotype that tall women, we are just too, masculine, or we're too this, we're too that. And it's just like, of course, you have the basketball stereotype where they feel like, oh, all women that play basketball have to be part of the, LGBTQ community. And it's like, no, we're not. And of course, I don't play anymore, but I obviously played for years. And that's a stereotype that I feel like a lot of people feel like we do have. And it's just so annoying. It really, really is. And also, the thing that's really annoying is I hate when people are like, oh my God, your voice is deep. You got a voice, deep as a man. And that's another thing that I want to talk about too is how people love to make it seem like as tall women, they just find different ways to make us seem masculine. Let me just say that they find everything they can to make us seem as masculine as possible, which can be annoying. Um, but yeah. So like I said, as I get older, I definitely change my standards. I don't necessarily. I guess you say I'm lowering them a little bit, but not necessarily. I guess I'm lowering the height requirement. Let's say that. I am lowering the height requirement when it comes to my dating standards. I still want you to have a lot of other things on my list, but as far as the height thing, I think I am lowering it as much as I possibly can, or as I want to. But like I say, every tall woman is different. But at the end of the day, I think every woman should have standards when it comes to dating because some of y'all probably have a little more standards, but I feel like everyone should have standards, and I feel like tall women, we should definitely have standards when it comes to dating, especially height standards. People just feel like, oh, when you're that tall, girl, you gotta just whatever come to you, you gotta just get it. No, we're not doing that. We are just as important as every other woman. Therefore, we should have just as many great standards as we possibly can have. And don't be a hater, let us be great. Also, I'm loving to see all this love on TikTok about tall women and our just tall women trends. Loving that for us. I am for sure loving that. Also, I'm loving seeing our tall couples. I be seeing so many tall couples. I be like, oh, this gives me hope and faith. It seriously does, though. All right, so that will conclude today's video. It was a little bit of a shorter video today, but hey, that's fine. I didn't make it too long because, like I said, I already have a video talking about dating as a tall woman, so I didn't want to make it too long. But I definitely did want to kind of kind of talk about how we should and do have standards when it comes to dating as tall women. Now, my next video, I'll probably do another talker video again or talker diary again. My next video, but we'll see. I know I change my mind very a lot. But of course, like I said, you guys please go follow me on TikTok, where I'm definitely more active on TikTok than I am on any other social media. Well, besides, I don't count this as social media though. YouTube. Do y'all count YouTube as social media? I don't, but maybe some of y'all do. But I'm definitely more active on TikTok. My TikTok name is, I think it's underscore. I think it's Kennedy underscore Danielle 31. But if not, it's in my bio where I have all my socials on there. I try to post on there on a daily. Also, for all of my fellow up and coming content creators, I feel like sometimes I have to get that motivation to like want to post and do all that. But you know what? I've been seeing a lot of videos that have been helping me. So hopefully this video can help motivate you to also continue to post, even if your subscribers are low, because my subscribers are low right now, but that's okay because we're growing slowly but surely. So I just wanted to thank all of you all and to keep subscribing, keep liking, keep commenting, and of course I will see you all in my next video.